Hello and welcome. My name is Gail Moffat and I speak to God. He has been coming through to me since 2017 and it's always exciting for me to hear his words. And round about that time they asked me to share his words with, it's probably about a couple of years later actually, asked to share his words with all of you. And so this is why I am on YouTube. So if you are interested in always being kept abreast of what God has to say, a lot of it is educational, some of it is what he's going to be doing in the future, how he wishes to help mankind, all those sorts of things that perhaps we have answered, questions in our mind and would like the answers. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to know all about this. So let's go to God and see what he has to say. My time with Gail is a time that is so important, not only for myself, but for all the people that choose to listen to my words. For it was not a difficult decision when I realized that man needed to change more, and that the only way that this could happen is if man had my help. That I needed to come forward and I needed to explain so much to mankind. When I was thinking about coming forward, I deliberated over who I would choose, which soul I would choose to come and speak through. It wasn't a difficult decision because I knew that if Gail was going to be accepting to doing this work, that this would be, as far as I'm concerned, my ideal choice. And because Gail has accepted, I feel grateful to her for all the commitment that she shows in doing this work. When I was originally thinking of doing this work, I thought about what I would say and how I would come through and how I would help mankind. And my conclusions were easy. I knew that I had to explain and be more transparent about my world. I needed to show people that there is a heaven, that there is a hell, and that what happens when you come to my world is not as complicated as perhaps people will think. I have been deliberating also about the many aspects of heaven, of what I could show to people with regards to my communication here. And today I would like to talk about a particular part of my kingdom that is dear to my heart. And that is the part that I mainly reside in. Heaven is broken up into many parts, and it is not always clear which part you are in when you are in my kingdom. But the part that I live in has a lining around it that does not allow an unevolved soul to enter unless it is escorted by someone who has been authorized to bring that person to me. This part of heaven has a pink hue around it and is protected at all times. When I decided to make this part of heaven, I knew that I could not be alone. And so I have organized that there will be many evolved souls that live in this part of my kingdom. And you will remember that when in the Bible it says that Jesus was going to come and sit at the right hand of myself, this is what I meant, that they would come to this part of the kingdom. There are many souls that live here because there are many evolved souls. And I am always grateful for their involvement, but I'm also grateful for their companionship, because without them I would be alone. These souls often are involved in helping me make my decisions, and I have a council that surrounds me in this area of heaven. This council is just like any council committee that you would have in your world, but it is slightly different because the people that are invited to be on the council are always an evolved soul. They will be considerate of from other people's point of view, and they will have a big heart, because that is the key ingredient to being in the light. When we settle into our meetings with the council, I always open the council with a prayer. And you might think that this is an unusual situation for myself to pray, because most people pray to me, but it is quite usual that I would pray, because my prayers are heard by these evolved souls, and they will then understand my requests and my needs, and they will look to help me in all the work that they do. Sometimes when we have these meetings, there will be a difficulty somewhere either in my kingdom or in your world. And when there is a difficulty, I will be asking someone to perhaps organize themselves to help people on the earth. They will never go alone to help someone because their skills are not fully equipped. You will always need an angel in this instance. And so a soul with angels will come to the earth when there is a problem. There is much trouble in your world, particularly with war at the moment. And I am very acutely aware of all the prayers that are coming to my world with regards to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And I have posted angels all around to ensure the safety of as many people as possible. I have also influencing the minds of some of the people that make the decisions within this war. This, I feel, will help the war come to a conclusive end, for this is my objective with everyone that is concerned. I can assure you that your prayers are being answered and that we are doing our utmost to help all the people in Ukraine and in Russia. Once this war has come to a final end, I will be looking to help the people rebuild and recover their country, help them to understand what is needed to protect themselves. And I will also help them in their religious life so that they can use prayer at all times to communicate with my world and have that assistance again and again. I thank you for listening to my words, and I wish to pray. It is my greatest wish that when I consider your world, that I consider it free of any wars, and that peace should always take place. I wish for mankind to understand that instead of war, negotiation is always the right foot forward, and that will always bring you into the light. For negotiation is the key to avoid war. I wish for people to understand that my world is always at hand to help, and that I will always be answering the prayers, particularly at these times where there is great concern for the well-being of many people. I wish to thank Gail for all her hard work, and I thank you for listening to my words. So, thank you, God. So, back to Gail. This is an example of how prayer is answered. And he's talked a lot throughout my videos about prayer and how it's organised, etc., etc. But acknowledging that he is listening to our prayers and that he is looking to do things, and how he's stationing angels around the situation, I think is letting us know that he is listening to us. He is aware of what's going on, and he is answering our prayers. And what that means is, when we have that confidence that God is answering our prayers, it actually means that we will then have the confidence to pray again and again and again, because prayers do always get answered. You may not get the answer that you want, or it may not be right for him to intervene with your life path, but I can assure you, your prayers are always, always looked upon. So thank you for listening to my video. Goodbye.